Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the version 6 launch. We're going to be going through today all of the new features of CADsoft Envisioneer in our newest version, version 6. So we're not going to be doing any kind of formal drafting or drawing or showing you any special routine within the software like we usually do for our Tuesday webinars, if you've been tuning in for those. This one is going to focus entirely on what are the new features and what can they do for your business. So we're just going to be going through all of the different features and commenting on those as we go through. The first feature that I want to point out to you is the new Snap Track feature. As I'm drawing in Envisioneer, you'll notice that at the corners now you'll see all of these black dots that are forming. Those black dots are what we call our snap track. If I hover my cursor over top of this corner and then reach over, you can see that it's going to line my cursor up with that point, so I can put things in line with other objects. That's going to be particularly helpful for you if you're going to be putting in a column within your model so that you can line it up perfectly with the corners. And let me show you how we can do that. I'm just going to close off this model. And I'm just going to change these to exterior walls so we can see them in a 3D view as well. So I'm just going to select all the walls at the same time and replace them with a clay brick veneer as an example. So I'm going to zoom down here into this corner and give another example of that snap tracking. I'm going to grab a column and I'm going to move my cursor close to this corner and then over to this corner. And then when I bring my cursor back over, you can see how it's going to align itself up with those points as I bring them down, and so that I can install it exactly at that corner. So that'll be helpful in putting in those columns. You can use that same type of theory in putting in different types of cabinetry as well. So as you're inserting a cabinet, if you want it to be perfectly in line with the edge of a wall, you can use that same snap track feature. So it'll be helpful for both laying out structure, putting in your walls, and also for our interior design crowd that's going to be working on kitchens and furniture placement, allowing you to line up things nicely. I'm going to speak a little bit now about the different materials in Envisioneer and how they're organized. I'm going to come up to our catalogs and look at our element manager, which you'll notice is new and different in version 6. If you went up to look at our catalogs before, it wasn't as visual as it is now. Now as I select an element, you can see over to the right that element's properties, so you don't have to go inside the element to look at it any longer. We've also added in some different ways that you can multiple select items. So I'm just going to look at the doors here as an example. I select the top door, and then I'm just going to hold down my Shift key, and you can see that I'm selecting all the doors at the exact same time. That allows me to make multiple edits to those doors. So I can say that in 3D, I want all of my hinge doors to now be open 20%, and in 2D, only 25%. So it allows me to go through my catalog and multiple select items and edit them all at the same time, which is handy. And just having the catalog being much more visible with all the different elements here, I think that you'll find handy for your business as well. I'm going to click on OK here and come out of that dialog box, and it's going to save those edits to my catalog for me. So that'll be there obviously for all of my future projects as well. When we're looking at the model, I'm going to slap a roof on top of it right now. Left click on that roof. And I'm just going to zoom in on this particular area right here. And I'm going to drag this roof section down so that it's in line with that wall and that column that I had put in as well. Now that they're in line, I'm going to select this roof and say match planes, and I'm going to select my primary roof and then my secondary roof so that it'll put them in the exact same plane for me. That'll allow you to match up the planes in different sections of your roof much easier to forming a single ridge line. So you'll find that very handy. I'm going to pop this into a 3D view and take a look at more of the roof editing tools that we have as well. I'm going to select on this front overhang, and I'm going to right click. And one of the new features that you'll find is this move edge command. As I move this edge, I can say, let's maintain the support height. So I'm just going to grab on this edge, drag it out, and you can see that it kept the same support height all the way through. And now I'm going to move it back, and I'm going to say, well, adjust the plate height. And as I drag it back, you can see that it's adjusted the plate height for me. So just having that flexibility will make it a lot easier to have some custom roofs as well. Okay, and I'm going to right-click now and look at some of the other properties here. You'll notice that we've got Update Roof. So if you've made some changes, one I particularly can think of is adding in a dormer and then taking out a dormer. You can just hit this Update Roof, and it'll heal the hole where that dormer was. So if you've made some edits and need to update the roof to reflect those edits, now you can just hit Update Roof, and it'll have that done for you right away. So it's a nice new feature to have that instead of going into the properties of the roof as you had to earlier. When we're looking at a model like this, and we've put in all of our new features as well, put in all the different information that we want for the model, a great new feature of Envisioneer is analyzing, and now we can generate a quote. So I'm just going to hit this Generate Quote option here. When it generates a quote, it's going to look at absolutely everything that you've put into your model. And you'll notice that now we've added the SKU number here. That allows you to update the pricing according to the SKU number. So you don't have to go into the individual elements. All the pricing can be updated by SKU number. You can also add in information about markup and margin, retail pricing, profit, taxes, and discounts. So you can add all of this additional information into all the different elements that you've quantified within Envisioneer. After you've did all of that different information from Envisioneer, then you can start pulling off reports. And these reports that it's generating are all customizable. So it's just going to pull up a report for you, and you can see that the first quote that it's done is just a quote by phase of construction. You can customize the look of it, so you can put in obviously your own customized logos and addresses and just the display of the information, how you want it to be output. You can also say exactly what information that you want it to output as well. So you can see here I've got a quote, and all it's giving me is just the total price. Or you can create a pull list of just the SKU number, the description, the quantity to take off to your manufacturers to order all of the different elements as well. So this one tool will allow you to customize what information you want to print out and what type of report, add in your markup, add in your margins, and it also ties into point of sale systems too. We have a list of those different ones. So if you're using a particular point of sale system, this will help you link into that as well. So it's a really handy new feature. I think one of the favorite ones that you'll find if you are preparing quantity information from Envisioneer, this quote generator will be particularly handy for you. It's going to exit out of it.